Cobra Kai. We just take it from the top.
Are you the dude that was hugging my dad? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Oh, I know you're not my dad. Don't hug my dad.
Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. In today's video, we will be looking at one of the rising talents of Hollywood, Tanner Buchanan. Buchanan, in his relatively young career, has featured in many shows, such as Cobra Kai and others. He is a breakthrough star who came into the spotlight without many people knowing who he was. He is set to make his foray into films, and fans of him are eagerly waiting in anticipation to see what he is all about. In today's edition, we will be looking at Tanner's career, his lifestyle, and net worth. So let's start the countdown with number 6, career. Tanner Buchanan made an impact in Hollywood by starring in a lot of shows, such as Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai seems to be the show that Buchanan is most recognized for. His performance in the show as a spoiled teenager, Robbie Keane.
Alright, he's a better man than you will ever be. That's a nice phone, I like it.
Guys, we're rolling. Quiet, please.
Yeah, Kevin.
Led to him being featured in many others. He was then seen in Grey's Anatomy and Designated Survivor, both successful shows, which helped Buchanan gain a lot of exposure. He has also featured in some movies and will be seen next in He Is All That. Buchanan in his short career has a huge fan base, largely due to his talent, but he also has appeared in several fashion events and award events. Buchanan is certainly a talent to look out for. Number 5, net worth and hobbies. Buchanan has earned a decent amount of money in his rather young career. He earns a monthly income of $20,000, which is not bad. His annual income stands at $100,000, which is considerable for someone very early in their career. He is surely going to earn more as he becomes a little more accustomed to the spotlight. Tanner's hobbies include playing football and basketball. He also has a penchant for fixing cars. Quite the fixer he is. His net worth stands at $1 million, and that figure will surely rise as he starts to feature in more shows. He recently signed a sponsorship deal with the new outlet IMC Partners, and there might be more companies queuing for his signature as he embarks on his Hollywood career. Number 4, the Tanner Foundation. The Tanner Foundation is Buchanan's own charitable fund, which serves a lot of underprivileged people and communities in Ohio. Those who want to help the foundation need to either invest in it or donate gifts to the foundation. The proceeds of it will go to the prosperity of the poor by providing them with wellness and healthcare needs. The foundation looks after patients who are suffering from heart ailments, cancer, and other diseases. It also serves many communities in the region by providing relief by way of donations and supporting and building homes for them as well. The Magnolia Ball is a fundraising event, which Tanner Foundation holds to raise funds for those who struggle with substance and opioid abuse in behavioral departments. The funds go to Tanner's Opioid Endowment Fund, which helps them deal with those having opioid addictions. Number 3, he also has musical talents. Apart from having great acting talent, Buchanan is also someone who is a musician. He is quite talented in playing the guitar, and was seen playing the guitar on many occasions. Speaking on his talent to play the guitar, he says music is definitely something that I would like to pursue later in life, Buchanan said. Maybe not by myself, but maybe more with a band. I really like that aspect. Kind of how Jared Leto is an actor and then sings with 30 Seconds to Mars, which is more of a rock group, which would be really cool to do later in life. Buchanan had developed his interest in music at a young age, but chose not to share it with anyone. We might see him very soon testing his musical talent. Now, time for the fun fact. Fun fact, for many who don't know, Buchanan's favorite actor in the industry is Robert Downey Jr. Now back at it. Number 2, he plays the role of Robbie Keane in Cobra Kai. The significant reasons for Buchanan's rise in the industry is because of his brilliant performances as Robbie Keane in Cobra Kai, where he plays a troubled teenager who is having issues with his father. He is a spoiled kid who gets into trouble at school, and all of this is in a sort of retribution towards his father. Keane goes against his father by joining his rival and training under him in the arts of karate. Keane gets to know his true motives and feels betrayed, due to which he leaves him as well, feeling agitated by their betrayal. He finally finds some solace when he joins a different karate setup under the guidance of John Kreese, who takes him under his setup through corrupt practices. Also, by having Keane at his side, Kreese looks to create a rift and take revenge with Keane's father, Johnny Lawrence, and his former mentor, Daniel LaRusso. Buchanan's role as Keane has got a lot of praise and acclaim, majorly due to the complexity of the character. His backstory, where Keane gets into all kinds of trouble in school, and that is majorly because of the lack of care he received from his father, Johnny Lawrence. Keen is the estranged son of Lawrence and develops a grudge with him due to his absence during his childhood. That leads to Robbie spiraling towards bad behavior such as drugs and others, and also gaining resentment towards his father. His father, upon hearing Robbie's behavior, returns in his life, promising to take care of him this time. Soon after, Robbie gets jealous of his father's closeness with his friends, and due to that, he leaves him. Buchanan, when he was a kid, used to practice a lot of karate and taekwondo. That definitely helped him in his role as Robbie Keene in Cobra Kai, where he ventures into the role of a karate kid. The role of Keene is seen by many of Cobra Kai's fans as having the best arc of them all, and fans are eagerly waiting in anticipation to find out if he develops ahead. Number 1. A promising talent. Buchanan has certainly made an impact with his roles in several shows, such as Cobra Kai and others. He also has a lot going for him in terms of fan following. Still relatively young, the teenager is expected to feature in a lot of shows and movies in the future. Also, the fact that Buchanan is also a talented musician, which also adds to his growing talent. The youngster has stated his desire to be a musician in some parts of his career. His role in the movie He's All That, where he plays an antisocial charming guy in college, is receiving praise from many. He plays a guy who doesn't like using his cell phone too often, being part of the spotlight. He plays the love interest of Addison Rae in the movie, where she takes on a bet with her friend to turn him into the next prom king of college, but eventually ends up falling for him. Buchanan has played this role brilliantly, and set to feature in more movies as he continues his career. He also featured as a young kid in the widely acclaimed Grey's Anatomy. Also, his brilliant portrayal of Robbie Keene in Cobra Kai is surely one of the best performances of the teenager. In Designated Survivor, another successful show, he plays the role of Leo Kirkman. He is a talent who certainly has a promising career, and fans of him will be eagerly awaiting for his upcoming shows and movies. So finally, after looking at Buchanan's career, his sponsors, his hobbies, and others, the youngster's net worth stands at $1 million, and is believed to be one of the rising talents of the industry. His net worth is sure to increase as he makes more moves. And by this we have come to the end. But before leaving, we would like to know your views on Buchanan's career, his endorsements, and his net worth, and what your expectations are with the youngster. Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Until then, see you next time. Take care and goodbye.